And I must say that I am a product of Pacific Consulting, going through the process. I'm one of those people that have learned from such a young age how the region has grown and how my country has grown into where they are now. I go back to when I was 12 years old. When I was 12 years old, the year was 1990. It was when the United Nations established the Framework Convention on Climate Change. It started my journey there in the environment because I always wanted to get out and enjoy the beautiful paradise that I call Samoa. And it was then that I got to meet some of the champions of early consulting in the Pacific. That little NGO in Samoa grew as one of the most early indigenous consulting companies in the Pacific, born and bred by Pacific Islanders. We have also the current champion of indigenous people's rights, fighting for the Pacific Islanders. Working from Olisisio Manga Society. His name is Fiu Mataese. These were the early sort of role models for me in Pacific Consulting. It was amazing because their backdrop wasn't anything to do. There weren't any Pacific Islanders that led before them, and so to speak, in terms of addressing climate change. So they learned the hard way. To me, that was in that decade of 1990 to 2000. That was a stepping on the seashore, trying to probe what the situation is, what this new challenge of climate change is. And they went in there. And I believe that whole decade, when I grew from a 12-year-old boy to into my teenage, into my early 20s, the year was 1990 to 2000. I saw and I heard, I watched documentaries of how the Pacific was pooling themselves together, growing from what was in the SPC and environmental unit to what is now the Secretariat of the Pacific Regional Environment Program in 2000. And at that time, there weren't that many Pacific Island consultants at the time. There were a lot of non-Pacific Island consultants. There are very many good consultants and consulting companies out there in the Pacific that are working and that have worked and that have come through the hard forest or through this particular lagoon of learning on how to do that in the region. And yes, I ran through challenges of where are the Pacific Island consultants? There weren't any. There were a lot of non-Pacific Island consultants on the field of adaptation and mitigation from Italy, from Eastern Europe, from the UK, from South America. And I'm asking myself, where are the Pacific Island consultants? Where are the people who are experts in their own environment? The RTSM, ladies and gentlemen, is this regional technical support mechanism that Pacific Islanders decided to pull together to roster experts, to bring in together Pacific Island experts, so who can learn and who have mastered the trade of how to be a consultant, how to learn different mechanisms, one as a recruiter and two as consultants on the ground. So I was made to do that. And I went through a number of different companies. The lessons learned is you got to be brave, you got to be bold, you got to stand up, as you are uniquely wanted in the region to really address the issues that only us know, those who are born and those who have the sovereignty and those who have their belly button buried in their islands.